Volume up, and greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome back to the Inn of Planar Crossroads. We've had some technical difficulties, both with this recording that we're trying to make now and last recording, so we'll announce about that in a minute, but first, our disclaimer. This is a kids-friendly game, a family-friendly game, and if you would like to, you can continue to listen with any of the younglings that you would like. We don't have, we kind of keep this particular game to a PG rating. There's no adult language or anything like that, so you should be good. Nothing I consider adult language anyway. The next announcement that we have, to get out of the way real quick, less than 5 minutes, we're having our Patreon push going, so if you would like to support this type of content, if you enjoy it, then you can pop over there. Once we get to 50, we're going to do a patron giveaway that is going to give away to all patrons are eligible. It is a core rulebook when we get to 50. It is when we get to 100 a month, it will be a Pathfinder First Edition Pathfinder 2nd Edition Playtest Special Edition rulebook that's coming out. We already have it on order, so it will be here. So when we hit $100 a month support on Patreon, we will give that away. Next announcement, what's going on with our one-shot that we have for our subscribers at 200. We're going to actually have someone else run besides Colin this time because life events have gotten in the way. So we are going to have someone else run this time, and then next time when we hit 400, he'll plan to run his neat, fun little one-shot. But we will still have a one-shot for those that want to get in on it. Let me see. I think that's all we'll cover for now because I'm wanting to get back into the game. What happened is we had some storms come through and it cut the power when we were doing our game this time. So
all the lights, even our refrigerators, our lights, our TV went off. So did our power.
So all that went off. So to recap, you guys, OBS did not record the last session that we did, which would have shown you guys that that Moon had agreed to help Shire Reef Masterson and Delilah find the Rat King's lair.
Wait, there's a Rat King?
Well, that's what they were telling you about. That there was a guy that the Durgar called the Rat King.
They call him the Rat King because he controls rats. That doesn't mean he's a big rat, right?
Not necessarily. Don't know.
Sort of like that. If it is, I guess it's sort of like that rat on Adventure Time. Rat King. They call it the Rat King.
I don't know.
Sort of.
But it's like, insert your Ninja Turtle reference here if you want. But he agreed to help them track down the Rat King, and he remembered that the rats that he had slain here at the Golden Grain. So he went down and looked in their cellar and found a space behind a very large wine cask that was laying on its side. He found a spot back there that part of the wall had moved, and it was a secret passage. So he's found a secret passage. For those of you that watch the Rise of the Rune Lords, you get that. But he tracked down Masterson and came and told him about it, and Masterson said that he would help him look in there and that they were going to go together. So they went down into the sewers together. Moon had to squeeze behind the wine cask and then squeeze through the door to be able to open the passage for Masterson. And he did that. It all worked out fine in that sense. And they made their way down there, and they looked around a bit and explored, and they found an arcane mark of some kind. Some kind of mark. It was a circle with a long line in the center of it, extending outside of each of the circle's perimeters. And
it was magic.
It was magic. But, unfortunately, neither Moon nor Masterson knew how to activate it. But Masterson knew from his past experience with other
villains and stuff,
criminals that had been through here that had used marks like this. It's not uncommon to have them as drop spaces, and they were going to leave something and track back whatever came and found it, but unfortunately they couldn't do that because they couldn't activate it. So instead, Masterson and Moon started tracking the big rat tracks, at least the ones that they could see. It was hard to see anyway. They had to use their lantern.
I think those mutant rats are the ones who made those tracks.
Probably. So they started tracking that. One thing that did happen is that when they were trying to cross the gap of this large cylindrical...
They fell in.
They did fall in the nasty water. So both Moon and Masterson smell like toilet water, and that's a thing. But they survived. It was only a couple feet deep, and they didn't like it. But that was before they found the arcane. That was after they were looking for the arcane mark. Anyway, all that said, that funny
now
thing
it's
that happened.
off me.
It's still on you. You still stink.
No, they don't.
Yep.
No, they don't.
Moon still stinks. So they tracked the rats as best they could, and they went around, and they were going around the corner in the dark, and unfortunately they weren't being very quiet. They were whispering, but it was this is a large stone cylindrical tube, so it transports sound just fine, even small sounds. So they were discovered by a couple of rats, big rats.
Mutant rats.
But they saw them as well, so the rats were waiting and were going to ambush them. But Moon saw them and informed Masterson, so we're actually coming in.
Sliced it. 4 points of damage to it. Counting 1, 2, and another 2.
Yes, so we're coming in mid-combat. So,
yes.
We apologize for that, but that is the case. I believe it was back
to Masterson's turn. Wait, no, it was the second rat's turn.
It was the second rat's turn? I think you're right, because the other rat critically missed. No,
that rat missed, and then that rat missed Masterson missed that rat, and then my rat tried to attack me, but chipped its tooth, and then the other one, and now
it should be the other one's turn. So it's going to try and attack Masterson.
What does it get?
It doesn't matter what it gets. You don't get to see what they get. So it misses Masterson. Now it's back up to you. So it tries to snap at Masterson, its legs, but he kind of moves his feet out of the way as it goes after his kneecaps. And so it's your turn now.
Okay, where is that? Is that big mutant rat right at my...
It's still trying to bite at your legs, yeah.
Okay, which leg? This leg or that leg?
It's trying to bite at your left leg because the corner that you guys came up against them on, they were waiting on the side that you guys were on the left corner. So you were coming around that corner, and that's where they were waiting.
I was on this side.
It's your turn. So what do you want to do?
Well, it's still there. I want to do an attack that even if it tries to dodge, I can scar it at least.
Well, that's got to do with how well you swing, not how... Okay. you can make an attack roll. So make an attack roll.
D6. Wait, D6, right? Or
The
attack
D6 is the
roll?
damage you do. You do an attack roll first to see if you hit.
A 15 plus 0, which is 15.
That's right. Your Forest Guardian blade that you're using, you roll a 15, that hits. So you do
let's see
1d6 minus 1 because of your strength score.
No damage.
Well, you do a minimum of 1. You always do a minimum of 1 damage. So, you do at least 1 damage every time you swing. That's how
5?
it works if you successfully hit. So you've got a total of 5 damage on it, yeah.
Okay.
So
that's... Wait, I'm hitting mine. What? 5
There we go.
damage. Okay.
Now it is
I have to
Masterson's.
hit it to 19, or do I have to hit
No.
it to...
You don't have to look at this. This is my stuff I keep track of. So, now it's Masterson's turn. He's going to swing at his rat. He hits. And he does... with his short sword. So, he does about 4 more damage. So, his rat, you see, is not looking very good. It looks almost dead. He sliced it really good that time. Yours doesn't look very good either. It's kind of wobbling. But his looks like it's real bad. So, now it's their turn. This main rat that you're fighting with is going to bite at you again. A 12 does not hit you because your AC is 18. So he bites at you again, and he misses. And it's good, too, because that's got a disease on his mouth. You know from the last time you got hit by him.
And this time,
the other
this
one's swinging
was
at Masterson.
2?
It misses.
Wait, I think that was a 42.
So now it's back to you. That one, they snap at both of y'all's ankles and knees, but you keep dodging and moving out of the way. Some of them, when they're attacking Masterson, they actually nip at his armor, but they don't go through it. So his metal armor just tinks it off.
Too strong.
Yeah.
Too
So
strong.
go ahead and...
Guy, look at me. Too strong.
They can't see that.
No.
So go ahead, and it's your turn.
Mine, I attack at it.
Okay, how do you want to attack? It's like strike down at it?
No, I actually want to get it from this hand. When I slice it like that after they attack, since it's right there trying to gonna nip at me or something like that.
That's right,
for
it's your
its
legs
turn,
and biting at you.
I'm going like with the edge of the sword like this.
With the edge of the sword up, yep. You're gonna swing downward at it,
Its
okay?
head.
You swing at it to slice at its head. Go ahead and roll.
2, I do not hit.
A 2? No, you do not hit. It swings wide. You almost scrape your sword against the stone, but you don't. So, you're alright. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that, folks. We're having technical difficulties. It's
A lot of it.
Yeah. Alright. Anyway. Let's get this back going. So, that rat attacked. That rat attacked. It was back to you. You missed. Now it's Masterson's turn. Okay, so Masterson swings again at the big old rat in front of him. Ooh, he gets a natural 20. It's a possible crit. So he's gonna roll again. Yeah, he confirms with a natural 19. So nat 20, nat 19. He's going to do... Let me see. It's not a super roll. So he does not a super awesome roll. So that means that it does 12 damage. You see, as this rat starts to jump up to bite him, in the face, he goes and just slices the rat in two. So it's, and it goes to, yes, it falls.
Is he gonna help me with this guy?
Probably. But first, his rat's done. It was desperate. Now, your rat. No, now it's your turn. No, wait, he just went. So it's your rat that's attacking. Your rat does not hit. So now it's your turn.
I got my... Wait, where's... My rat's still right... Is my rat right here, here, here?
It's a little bit more in front of you now that...
So it's right there? It's more like right there?
They can't see where you're doing that. It is in front of Moon.
So I take the sword out of that hand and I do it sideways.
You do a cross slash, okay? I mean a
slash.
Downward
a 14
angled slash.
minus 1. A 14 to hit.
14 plus 0 is what you need. So now roll your damage.
D6.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop, sorry, Daddy. A 4, so 3 damage.
3 damage?
To 5.
That is enough. It starts to jump up at you, and you seeing what he did, you shove your sword right down its gullet as it tries to bite you. And you skewer it like a kebab.
And I roasted over the fire.
You don't have a fire in here, thank you. But, alright. So you are able to take care of those and see all that stuff that has gone. You are able to take care of those rats and get them all killed out.
So
now what?
I kind of wanted its tooth out to see if we can get any evidence from it.
Well,
stuff like if we can get the poison out of the tooth or something.
Well, it's not a poison. You could do that as a ninja. You can get poisons. You know how you have poison use. They're not poisoned. They are diseased, so it's different. And you can't take the disease with you and use it. You don't think so? It's kind of a bust on that, but you are able to defeat them, and you can continue. You can kind of see the way they came. They seem to have scurried around quickly, following your noise. So they.
So we follow it.
You follow the way they came.
Yes, they may have come through this entrance where the rat. Well, I guess they were just a maze. They came from. I guess they came from where the rat king, or what we call the rat king. And get this. So
you're gonna follow their path.
Yes, they may have come from that.
Okay, so this path is fresher, and it's easier to follow even on this stone. With the past rolls you made, you guys are able to follow it. As you go on, you come to a spot that is... Masterson sees... You and Masterson. Roll me a perception check, actually, so that you guys can see if you find this information.
A natural 20!
Okay, natural 20 plus 5 for you.
So, 25.
Yeah. And then Masterson didn't do too bad himself. So, you guys look around. You guys look around, and you are seeing several marks that seem to lead into other basements or other areas that may have at one time been open. And Masterson's making you can tell he's making mental notes to come back to those places and see where they lead.
I'm going for the fresh marks.
Yeah. So you guys are still following the fresh marks, but he's making those mental notes. You turn a certain way and you start to follow them, and they actually come to a spot that seems to almost not dead end, but it's like that part of the sewer never got finished, and it starts to become more natural, like a cave. And the rats seem to have come from there, and there's about more dirt now, so it's easy to follow. It goes from worked stone to you go a little bit up, and then start to descend down again, and it is a natural cavern now, and
like a cave, like a.
You take several turns, and it seems to take a sharp turn to the left.
So it's going.
So if you didn't shine your light around, you wouldn't have even seen that opening was there, and it has another mark on it that you think that is there, and you go. Masterson points it out, and he says, "I think that this is what we're looking for down in here. Let's be careful."
I go in my sneak.
So you want to sneak now?
Yes. Where is it?
Alright, and we're back again. Sorry about that. Another technical difficulty. I'm gonna have to do something about that. Anyway, you guys start to stealth, so go ahead and roll your stealth. Oh, you got a nat 20, that's right.
Oh,
Didn't you?
No, that was for the other thing.
Oh, that's right. That was an attack. That was something else. That was perception.
Perception.
It's stealth.
7 stealth. Where's stealth?
Under the S's. It's all alphabetical.
Okay, so stealth is 10.
So 10.
I got a 17. So 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A 27.
27. And then he's gonna roll his. He's not nearly as quiet as you are. You're really quiet.
I'm sneaking on the ceiling like.
You're not on the ceiling. You'd fall. You don't have the strength to do that. Not until you're an adult. If you guys could see his adult scores, actually you guys can see his adult scores. If you go back at the very first session for character creation in session 0, you can see what his adult scores were. They're pretty sweet considering what he's doing.
I think my adult score is +1.
Yeah, so you'd actually have a bonus with stuff. But all that aside, you're stealthing really good. Are you stealthing a little ahead of him or behind him, or what's going on here? What's the marching order?
I'm stealthing. I'm actually behind him, or else I wouldn't be able to see. It's good, because I'd be blocking the light.
Right, and right now, he's got the light turned down really low. So you're the one that's seeing. You're actually seeing better than he is right now.
Well, then I'm in front if it's low. If it's low, I'm in front. If it's high, I'm in back, so I don't get in the way of the light.
Okay. Well, either way, if you say you're in front, then you're in front. You're a little ahead of him, but you've got enough light coming off that you can still see a bit. And as you kind of curve and go down, this actually seems to go down several feet. You're not quite sure how many, but it goes down quite a ways. You have to walk for 3 or 4 minutes to get down to the level of this spot where you start to see a bit of light coming through. So
can I sneak? I'm on the ground
Okay. Well, once Masterson starts to see light, he turns his off. And he, moves it around, puts it up, and then he starts to follow you. And you start to sneak and sneak and sneak. And as you're sneaking, you come to this point where you're just getting over, and you peek around into the opening. And it's a lit. It's not like, oh, this is daylight bright, but it's a lit up area with candles and stuff like that. That seems to be the opening that you're at, the aperture that you're at of this particular tunnel that you're coming to the end of, opens into a small cavernous area. It opens into a small cave area. And
do I see anything in there when I look through the corners?
Well, I'm getting there. It seems to be about, a good 60 feet wide.
Like this?
60 to 70 feet wide.
Like there to there?
And then you're estimating that it's probably another 90 feet long. So it's this nice little sizable cavern, but you must have gone down quite a ways. And it seems to have 3 different lead-offs.
I'm following the tracks.
Well, the tracks lead to here. And at the end, it comes to a built-up scaffolding, a built-up wooden walkway to lead up to this to where you're coming in at.
Do I see any scratches on the wood or anything? I have
Yes.
to look, but I have to look very closely because that blends in with all that light.
Well, no, it's not hard to find. This is where they were leading. This is where those rats were leading.
There's
and
only
you can
2.
see.
Did they come from separate ways? Do I see them going separate ways?
Well, you killed the ones that I'm talking about. And they, the tracks are all over. There's all over rat tracks. And the scaffolding that you have right there, the wood area that you can step out onto and then go down into the cavern is about 15 feet up from the floor of the cavern.
Can I go left?
Well, there's 2 places you can go. You can go left. Well, there's one way you can go left, because it just leads down into that area. And
You said there was
in that
3.
area, it seems to be lit up with candles. You can't really see the top of the cavern very well. It's in the dark, but you don't think it's very high up there. It's probably maybe a 30-foot ceiling, something like that.
Is there a table or something in there?
There is. There's actually a couple tables. There's a larger one that must have been brought down here. Must have taken a little while to get down here. And then there's a smaller one that seems to be for writing. The larger one seems to be for eating.
Do I? I want to go on. I want to go check it out to see if there's something there.
Well, you're definitely there looking, and as you're doing your thing, you're looking around and stuff, and you come out onto the walkway, and you see that there's a door. There's like a fashioned wood door. The furniture in here, it's one of those things where it looks like it was at one point nice furniture, but now it hasn't been treated really good. So it's kind of scratched up probably by rats and stuff, and it's dirty. So it's not the best looking furniture anymore, but at one time it was nice. There's a nice chair that had an ottoman in front of it, a footrest in front of it, that at one point was very nice, but now is kind of tattered in its upholstery and stuff. The door that you see there that actually has the aperture that actually has a door down there is behind the longer table, and it is probably, you're guessing, some kind of other room. And then there's 2 pathways that kind of lead off. One is smaller and one is slightly medium sized, and there seems to be traffic on the one that goes a little bit deeper that's medium sized, but not necessarily one that's smaller. So this is the area that's before you. There's also an old tattered rug, and then of course candle stands and stuff.
I want to look around. I want to see if there's anything valuable, like stuff in chests, stuff on the tables and stuff. What do I find, like that stuff?
Okay, so you want to go down the stairs and look?
I want to look around and see if I can find anything valuable, like silver spoons, stuff like that.
Okay, so you come down the stairs and start to, look around and get a lay of the land and stuff. And you You keep looking about a bit, and it seems like there's mainly supplies like foodstuffs underneath the stairs with some barrels and things like that. There's some old, it looks like he's got some paintings down here that he doesn't have hung up, and he's got some nice things that you think he's probably set aside to hawk and sell off instead of using himself. This person, this Rat King.
I look around in the barrels.
Okay, well, you start to look around in the barrels, and then
Is it dark?
It's not bright.
It's dim?
Yeah, it's kind of dim light in here. It's not kept very bright, but you can see fine. You know that Masterson probably isn't seeing super well, but you can see okay.
Because I have dim light vision. Low light vision.
Low light vision. You start to look around, but you hear some noise coming from the where the door is. That leads to the other room or area or whatever it is. And
I get my weapon out.
Okay, now you're stealthing. Do you want to hide while that door opens, or what do you want to do?
I hide behind, but I hide where there's a space on those stairs, right, where I can get behind a barrel and draw my sword.
Mm-hmm. There is. So you want to use your sword?
I want to get my sword out. Wait, no, my bow. I want to get my bow.
Okay, it's up to you, whichever one you want to do.
Bow out.
So you get your bow.
I get it ready like that.
Okay.
And sneak mode like.
Okay. And you see coming out of the room is a human, it appears. He seems to be kind of really disheveled and not dressed super well, but he comes out and he's got some rats following him, like a whole herd of rats following him.
I'm like, between those two background.
Okay, so you got your bow ready just in case you need it, and
I aim for his head.
Well, okay, you can do that in just a minute. You hear him go and kind of whistle. Nothing responds. He kind of looks around, scratches his scruffy face. Rats running off. I better get back here. And he sits down at the table and takes a hunk of meat that's been sitting there. You think it might be kind of moldy, and he eats on it anyway. And throws some to the rats as they kind of dance around his feet. A bunch of rats. So they do that. Not big rats like the other ones,
like the ones I
medium,
saw in there that were like this big,
but regular-sized rats. So you see that is the case, and with what's probably going to likely happen, we'll call it there for tonight.
I shoot at his head first.
Okay, so you just want to go ahead and shoot.
Actually, I'll wait.
Okay, it's up to you.
I'll wait.
Alright.
Sorry about that.
Okay, well, we're calling it now anyway. Did you say you wanted to go ahead and start combat?
No.
Or no? Okay, so we're going to call it right here. We're going to call it right here, and we'll pick up and where you can decide what you want to do, or if you don't do anything, what will happen if Masterson starts, or stuff like that. So it'll all depend on you guys. But for now, travelers, have a great day. God bless, and enjoy. Bye! This content was made possible by the generous support of patrons and travelers like you. Thank you.